Welcome everybody to Rotary and Serving Our Community. My name is Wade Nomura, and with me today I have Michael Baker, Jamie Collins, and Rick Joy. They're going to be talking about a few of the projects that Rotary's been involved with. And we'll start with you, Rick. I see you threw a whole bunch of calendars here in front of us. What is the project specific and how does it relate to Rotary? So tell us about that calendar.
Well, it's what we call the Carpinteria calendar, and we started it in 2004, so actually 2005 was our first calendar, and it was a project that the Carpinteria Morning Rotary Club jumped on and wanted to do as a fundraiser to raise some money to give back to the Carpinteria community, and that's what it's all about, to raise a little money. It's just a fundraiser, and everybody needs a calendar. It's not quite as popular 15 years later as it was, because we all have calendars on our pockets now, but people still hang them on the wall, and that's, and it's a fun project, and our club really gets behind it and supports it.
Sounds good. You said it's a fundraiser, so how much have you earned with that calendar?
Well, in the last 10 years, we've given back $96,000.
Wow.
So where we ended up last year. Every year we'll give back, $8,000 to $10,000 to the local Carpinteria community, one facility or another, and this year we're going to go over 100,000. So
That is amazing.
$100,000
from selling calendars.
Yeah.
So what makes the calendar special? It's
Well,
a $100,000 calendar, so you got to tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, this was our first one in 2005, and we just happen to have them all here. You won't see them, but it's special because it's the money that is made through our Morning Rotary Club. We're able to give back to the community, and that's really what Rotary is all about, is helping others and giving back, whether it be locally or around the world. And there's a couple things special about it. It started out more as like a photography contest, a little more advertising 10 years ago on the photography contest but the pictures that are chosen, they're all Carpinteria. They have to be of Carpinteria. And I've had a couple people throw in a couple that I've had to question them on, but they're all pictures that anybody could submit, okay? So we get pictures from a lot of campers in Carpinteria. We get all types, or like I say, anybody could submit a picture. So that kind of makes it fun. And then the other thing, Carpinteria and Santa Barbara being the beautiful beach communities we are, we've added the tides in to every month. And the tides come in handy. Everybody likes the tides. A lot of people tell me they love the tides for all different reasons.
So the pictures, are they done by professionals, amateurs? Is it a mix of all of the above?
Well, you've had a couple pictures in here, Wade. But you're a professional.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry you're on the show, by the way. Thank you.
The pictures are submitted by, like I say, anybody is welcome to submit a picture. Could be Jamie, could be Mike, could be these guys behind the camera right now. Anybody could submit a picture. And then we have a small group in our Rotary Club that kind of goes through them, and I weed them out kind of sometime as they come through. But anybody could take a picture, so you could be an amateur or the best photographer out there.
Just curious, is there one subject that you've seen a lot of pictures of?
Well, what do we see? A lot of beautiful sunsets, so I get a lot of
True.
that.
Yeah.
I've had people say, okay, enough beach scenes. Well, it's hard not to take pictures of the beautiful beaches of Carpinteria. But I like getting pictures too that are a little abstract, and people ask where is that,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mix, really. But as long as it's Carpinteria, it could get in.
And what do the photographers get for a winning photo?
Photographers, they usually will get a couple calendars and maybe a breakfast at the Morning Rotary Club and a little recognition. And
That's
you
great.
know, a lot of the photographers are local, and a lot of are just people from out of town. So it could be anybody. But yeah, there's no grand prize or anything. Just it's been a fun project for our club.
Great. Now the $100,000. Do you have any specific groups that you want to point out that really appreciated it, used it well?
Well, I think all the groups appreciate it. Every year. Usually in May of every year, we have a little breakfast, a special breakfast at our club where we'll invite 8 or 10 groups that have been nominated to get some of the proceeds from the calendar. So that's once a year, and the Boys and Girls Club, who's represented here today, they've received some monies from us, and I think all the nonprofits, and it's all for nonprofits, okay, the money that goes back, and they all appreciate it, no matter what the amount is. Usually it's pretty standard, and a lot of times, if we give to a big organization like the city, we'll request that maybe it's for the pool or for the lifeguard program, or so it gets spread around pretty well. I don't even know of an organization in Carpinteria that has not received some money from a calendar project.
That's great. That is good.
Yeah, you name them, they've probably been there.
Selection of the people that you, I would say, send the benefit funds for each year, is that done by the club, by a group, or
yeah, we usually send out, throughout our morning Rotary Club, we ask for suggestions, from our members, do you have a recommendation? And we'll get a list of, 10 or 12, maybe not that many, but we'll get a list of different nonprofits in Carpinteria, and like I say, a lot of them have received the proceeds before, and then our club kind of looks at it and figures, okay, we have 8 people that we could give to, let's give to these 8 this year. And then so every year we just keep giving back, and that's what it's all about.
How many pictures do you get each year submitted as far as the contest portion of it?
Well, I would say a couple hundred.
A couple hundred.
Yeah.
So it's pretty competitive.
Maybe 100 to 200. Some people will give me a disc with 20 pictures on it. I've had people send me the whole envelope of negatives and say, pick one. But all the pictures, are of Carpinteria. And like I say, anybody could submit one, which makes it kind of fun.
Now, how would they submit, say, for example, if somebody out there wanted to submit a photo to you, is there a direction, or how would they go about doing that?
Well, that's maybe a little bit word of mouth, or Carpinteria Morning Rotary Club,
okay.
.com.
Okay.
And, they could get it through the Carpinteria Morning Rotary, which is, fantastic club.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Oh, I do have one more question. You talked about a tide, the tide charts on that. I'm presuming that identifies the highs and low tides in a given day.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you have in there, for example, events, holidays, things like that that are specific?
Oh, there's a Wade picture right there. Yes, as best we can do, we'll put all the Carpinteria events in here. Okay. And then there's some, other marked events, obvious, calendar events, but all Carpinteria. But the tides, these are NOAA predictions. Okay, these are predictions that are actually you could receive a year or two in advance. So that's how the tides are. They're all predictions by NOAA, and they're pretty accurate. I really haven't had anybody come back to me and say you're wrong.
That's true.
But
that is
it's
true.
possible to put them in wrong. So that's the hardest part. But the tides make it fun for the people, for fishing, surfing, whatever walking on the beach.
How many calendars do you sell annually, would you guess?
Usually about 3,000.
3,000.
3,000, yeah. And they all get printed in September, so the 2016 is close to being complete right now. It goes to print in September, and then we always have it for the first weekend of October for the Avocado Festival. That's our big, we always try to sell a bunch then, and then they're sold all throughout Carpinteria in different stores and all around. Yeah, but our Rotary Club really is a big part behind it all, making it known and getting them out there.
Now, is it bought mostly by tourists or actually locals?
Well,
Or is it a
both.
mix?
Both. I'd like to think, and originally in 2005, I figured, well, there's 13,000 people in Carpinteria, so we should be able to sell 13,000. Well, that's not the case. But yeah, so they're bought by anybody and everywhere, and I ship them all over. I ship them all over the country. Actually, people come back every year. Go, I need my calendar. I need my calendar.
Yeah.
And I've got some pretty classics that I send to. Yeah.
Now, with 1 million people coming through the park, the state park each year, that must be a pretty good market for you.
Well, it's not for me, and it's not.
Okay, for the calendar. Sorry.
It's not. We really don't market that as well as maybe we could, you know. But you're right. The state park could sell a lot of them, so we need to do a little push there, you know. But definitely.
Sounds good. And you said a lot of your money, or some of the money, actually goes to youth events and organizations like Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, absolutely. Boys and Girls Club, Girls Inc., and you name a nonprofit in Carpinteria, and they've received money from the Carpinteria calendar.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that one. Thanks for sharing the calendar. We'll get back to you, but I don't want to leave these two here
Thank you, Wade.
quiet and hanging out here.
Thank you.
So, Michael, Jamie, we've got you involved here with the Boys and Girls Club of, is it United, the greater Santa Barbara area?
Yes, United Boys and Girls Clubs, which we have one of our clubs in Carpinteria, Goleta, Lompoc, and the west side of Santa Barbara. We also have a camp up at Camp Whittier on Highway 154. And we have a location up at UCSB campus at Devereaux. And we have 5 after-school sites as well. So we've got a pretty scope from Carpinteria all the way to Lompoc and pretty much everywhere in between. So, and Jamie's our club director from Carpinteria, recently promoted. She's going to be the director of operations for our organization. So she's doing great work.
So your role specific with the Boys and Girls Club is?
I'm the CEO for United Boys and Girls Clubs here in Santa Barbara County. So the best way to explain it when people ask me really what my role is it's kind of like a superintendent of the schools, in that Jamie would be where she is right now in Carpinteria, kind of like a principal of a school. She's responsible for everything in that building. We call them club directors. I answer to a board of directors like a school board, and my job is to carry out the day-to-day operations for the whole organization.
Now, both of you are also Rotarians, and one of the reasons why you're on the show is I'd like to maybe have you share how Rotary fits into what you're doing right now as a director.
Well, I've been in Rotary this is my 25th year in Rotary.
Wow.
Started in 1990, and I love it. It's been a tremendous support system for the Boys and Girls Clubs. Everywhere I've been, I've always been in Boys and Girls Clubs my whole career. I used to tell people, kidding, but it was truthful, was I loved Rotary meetings because it was the only time throughout the week where I hung out with adults. It was always with children. So, and then, I've been in clubs where actually the children were more mature than the Rotarians, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, so
I think I've been there.
That's Anaheim. It was Anaheim. But that's, I was gonna,
right.
Then I could broadcast this in Anaheim. So no, I've loved my time with Rotary, and there isn't even now. There isn't a week that goes by, and I'm in a new Rotary Club now, but there isn't a week that goes by where I'm not on the phone talking with someone that's in Rotary that's going to do something for the Boys and Girls Clubs, or to get advice from them on just, because you need so many people to support you in running Boys and Girls Clubs, and being able to call on professionals like you and be able to say, hey, I'm thinking about this, what are your thoughts? You just get great advice. And you get them from Kiwanians too, and Lions Club members as well. There's a lot of civic groups out there, but Rotarians are one that I've always been involved with and been proud to do that.
Great. Well, thank you. Jamie, what is your role with the Boys and Girls Clubs? Your new role?
Yeah, so for the past 3 years, I've been the club director in Carpinteria, and actually was first introduced to Rotary through the calendar project, receiving a donation when I first started. And then kind of going forward, so now I'm the director of operations, and hopefully I will be inducted, is that what it's called?
That's true.
Into Rotary in the next couple of weeks. So I'm very excited to join Morning Rotary, and we've had great support in our local club, not only through the calendar project, but also through the RILA and the youth service projects that Rotary kind of pairs that matches up to our 5 core areas through Boys and Girls Clubs, and it's a nice partnership.
Great. Now, you're probably not that new to Rotary. Isn't your father kind of involved with that too?
Yes, yeah. My father was a charter member for the Morning Rotary.
All right,
so
great.
I've always heard about it, never really knew what it was.
Okay. Now, I know based on Carpinteria that you guys have one huge event. It's an auction night, something like that.
Yes.
Seems to be fairly successful. Do you want to talk about that one at all?
Yeah. So our annual auction is actually coming up in March this year, March 5th, and we raise about $100,000 for our organization. Wow. Every year we hope to grow it, and every year in the past 3 years it's grown immensely, and it's just a great time. We like to bring the fun back in fundraising, so it's a night out in the Carpinteria community where people can come and enjoy some great drinks, great food, and a live auction that is both rewarding yet entertaining with our auctioneer.
All right, good, very good. I've heard great success with the new model you're putting in place there, Michael. Could you tell us, I would say, how large you've grown the organization itself in the last not even year?
Well, I've been here 7 months, and the credit really lies with folks like Jamie and the club directors. What I've said all along is what I felt really good about coming here. I've been in Boys and Girls Clubs my whole life, whole career. I feel really good about the club directors that we have running our clubs in all of our different club sites. I feel even better about our assistant club directors. And we've had tremendous progress in membership. At most of our clubs, we've almost doubled our average daily attendance, kids coming to the clubs. And I feel very confident that, the number right now, about 2,700 members, I think easily by this time next year we'll be well over 3,000 members and pushing towards that ultimate goal of at least 5,000-6,000 kids in the whole county.
Wow.
And that's, to me, I think is very achievable.
That's great. Now, Rotary has some, I would say, direction that they have for what they call youth service or new generation. How much of that is implemented in your plan? For example, ethical training, things like that.
Great question. We have a program that we run at our clubs called Keystone. It's a leadership program for teens, and one of the challenges that we've had across the board in the country with Boys and Girls Clubs is growing teen membership. It's been a declining over the years, and there's a real emphasis on exactly that and bringing in mentors. And again, I can't think of better mentors than people that are engaged in the community through civic organizations like Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club. They make the best mentors at Boys and Girls Clubs. And there's a lot of children that we deal with, that Jamie deals with every single day, who just need some guidance and some positive role models in their lives. Their parents are doing everything they can to make ends meet. They're working real hard, and they need more people in their lives to help them. And the more help we get from Rotary and providing service projects not only to the club, but providing volunteers and encouraging people to get involved in a local Boys and Girls Club or whatever organization, be it Girls Inc., whatever, is a huge help.
That's good. So I've heard that, this is from somebody else, not you, that directors are often the biggest kids out there.
Jamie is a big kid.
Good job.
Yeah, what I get a kick out of is when go to visit the clubs and seeing the staff interacting with the children in such a positive way. And I love all the clubs that we have. I really love walking into the Carpinteria Club because when you walk in that door, it just screams Boys and Girls Clubs. It's organized chaos. It's got staff that care about kids, interacting with them in a positive way. Great volunteers. You got a great club director running that club, and tremendous support from the community. It's a winning combination. And what you're doing, I mean, I can't thank you enough, not only on behalf of Boys and Girls Clubs for what you've done in the idea here, but what you've done for all the charities in Carpinteria. We always try to find creative ways to raise money, and this is definitely one of them. So thank you for doing that.
Future projects that you have, Boys and Girls Clubs, is there anything you've kind of keyed in on? I know for a fact that we've seen vans driving around all over, Boys and Girls Club vans. Anything else besides that? Or?
Well, for me, it's always been, again, my whole career, I've always focused on the kids that can get to the Boys and Girls Club because mom or dad drop them off. Those are the easy kids to reach, or they ride their bike, or however they get there. I've always been concerned about the little Wades of the world that might live 2 miles away who can't get to the Boys and Girls Club but desperately need it. What are we doing to help those kids? And Jamie and her staff are taking the vehicles that were being used to pick up kids from school and bring them to the Boys and Girls Club, and then those vans would sit for about 23 hours a day. Now using those vehicles to go to strategic locations where kids who can't get to the Boys and Girls Club, pick them up, bring them to and from the Boys and Girls Club. And that's something that the new director that's coming on board is going to be really tasked with. Hey, this is a major push. I want to see the kids that are living in those more challenged areas in Carpinteria, and they're out there. You know that. You both know that real well. That there's children that are living in parents barely getting by, and we need to do everything we can to reach those kids and get them in our facilities. And being open on Saturdays. I don't know how many years it's been, but that club hasn't been open on Saturdays for a long, long time. And Jamie and her staff have done a great job of growing that base. Just we'd love to think that Saturday is a day that parents are able to spend with their kids. But for the parents that we're dealing with, vast majority of them, it's just another day of the week. They're going to work. Yeah. I'd love to think that they're able to spend time, but they're just not. So we need to fill that void.
Great. There was a project, I don't know if you're familiar with this, done by one of the local Rotary clubs. It was a matching grant, a global grant, where $27,000 was put into funds for Camp Whittier, I believe. Did you hear anything about that? Were you aware of?
Yeah, actually, I believe that's a Sunrise Rotary Club.
Right.
And they've been it's Santa Barbara Sunrise, and they've been tremendous in supporting our Camp Whittier, 55-acre camp up in Highway 154. Beautiful campsite. Every year they do a service project up there. They put an eye wash station in there for us for safety reasons. They've done first aid. They've renovated some of the cabins over the years. They put in drinking fountains. I mean, they've done a lot of work for us. If it wasn't for that Rotary Club, that campsite would be in much worse shape than it is right now. No question about it.
I heard those funds actually came from Korea. Did you realize that?
Didn't know that. No, that I didn't know.
Yeah, it was a partnering district that we work with in Korea. Actually, we could not fund an international project. We have to have money come in from out of the area. So it was actually Korea that put that money forward.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, do they ever come here to visit?
We do. Every year we exchange visits with governors.
We got to get them to come up here.
Sounds
and
good.
Take them to camp and get a photo.
They'll be here in October.
Great. Well, let's make that happen.
Sounds very good. Anything else that you would like to share? How Rotary's changed your life, how it's benefited, and what you're using from that Rotary to, I would say, in your professional lives and personal lives?
Me personally, and I know Jamie's new to Rotary, but I know she's going to fit in great. She's going to do a great job with Rotary. Some of my best friends in my life I've met in Rotary. People to this day, I was in Anaheim for 14 and a half years, and I loved my time, and I loved it. And besides working in the Boys and Girls, I identified with the Rotarians. I mean, we were a really good group of people there, and I loved working with them. Like as I said, every week I'm able to pick up that phone and talk to somebody to get advice. So Rotary's had a deep impact in my life. But I will tell you this: if it wasn't for Rotary, we had a program in my high school, a job shadow program, and the gentleman I got matched up with was a banker. And I shadowed them for the afternoon, and I made a decision right then and there. There's no way I'm going to be a banker. I don't want to do this. So Rotary really turned me into nonprofit. So that's my Rotary, one of my Rotary stories.
Thank you. How about you, Jamie? I know you're going to be fairly new to Rotary, but you've had that in your life for a while.
Yeah, I'm newer, but I wouldn't align myself with an organization that didn't go along with my personal values and beliefs, and service above self. That's what I do, or what I think I do, every day in my profession. And it's just so nice to be tied with an organization that is so similarly aligned with what Boys and Girls Clubs stand for, and our character and leadership programs, and our healthy lifestyles through all the international projects you guys do with clean water and education, and it so clearly just ties into what we're doing. So I'm excited to introduce our kids to kind of other ways that they can give back to our community.
Very good, thank you. Rick?
Well, I've been Rotary for 15 years now, and it is just a great organization, mainly because of the people that are in it. And there's no color to Rotary. I think you told me that once, Wade, and I really believe that, you know, that's what's one thing that's very special. You're welcome anywhere in the world if you are a Rotarian, and it's for anybody that chooses to be a Rotarian, you know, and is invited in by another person. This calendar project, like, you know, we talk about it being a fundraiser. It's not really to raise money for our club, because we're not about that. We're about raising money to give back, whether it be locally or anywhere in the world, to other people that need it. And that's what Rotary's done for me, this great thing.
Great. Any upcoming events?
Yes, October 10th, 2015, this year, we're having our annual gala at Deckers. You can learn more about the program and the event at unitedbg.org. That's UNITEDBG.org.
Okay, very good. Anything else? Rick, you got anything new coming up here?
No, just
Club's got anything cooking?
well, our club always has stuff cooking, you know? But I'll just look forward to our meeting tomorrow morning, and you know, getting this 2016 calendar out and keeping the club going, and having Jamie as our new member here in a couple weeks, you know, which will be wonderful.
So you said the calendars will be available. First up would be Avocado Fest? Is
Yeah.
that the plans?
About end of September, we should have them
Okay.
all printed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when is the Avocado Fest? Do you know those
It's
dates?
first weekend, I think it's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of October.
Of October.
Tell you, it's right here.
Sounds
But
good.
yeah, first weekend of
And what's the
October.
tides look like?
Yeah.
Well, right now they're going out. So yeah, it's the first weekend of October every year. So yeah, Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, and Sunday the 4th.
Perfect. Perfect.
So
And you guys have a booth there selling those?
yeah,
Okay.
that picture's appropriate too.
That is
For October.
appropriate. Very appropriate.
Yeah, we have a booth where we sell the lights and the calendars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So with that, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We sure appreciate your time, and we appreciate all you do. We will see you next time. In the meantime, take a look at Rotary, see what they're doing. There's some outstanding things going on, and it's my opinion and many of the Rotarians that we are making a difference in this world. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So.